What's up, everybody? This is Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. I'm your nutritionist. I'm a guy who shares because I care. And today is no different. Today, we're actually going to give you an overview, an inside look at how you're able to eat foods that you like, foods that you enjoy, eat foods that you love, and still lose weight, get off medications, and improve overall health. Now, joining me in this conversation is a nutritionist, someone who is making a difference in the lives of many. That is Lisa Marie, and she is joining me. And in this conversation, everybody, you are going to learn some really cool things, and we're going to have fun with it. So I want to say thank you for being here. If you want to contact Lisa, you want to contact me, you want to contact and learn more about things that we've done recently in the future, then all those links are available below. All right. So without further delay, let me just bring on the one and only Lisa Marie, everybody.
Good morning, Robert. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Oh my God. What is going on? How's Lisa been?
Lisa has been good. Sorry I didn't make it last night, but we went and spent some time with some friends on a boat. We had a good time last night.
Well, that sounds fun.
I
Well, it sounded really good last night to go to bed early, so that's what I did.
know. You did.
Now, as we discussed, right, we're going to give people, and I got some slides to show them. We're going to talk about how to make fat burning meals. And for those of you who are here, I want to say thank you for being here. We have plenty of time to cover that. We're going to keep it pretty short. Our goal is to be in and out of here within 30 minutes. So we have about 27 and a half minutes left. But before we bring up the slides and dive in, Lisa, when you first heard me talk about how you could eat the foods you love and still lose weight, still improve health, what was your initial thoughts? Or did it get your attention and you're like, I'm a little suspect, but I'm willing to like give this a shot because maybe I've heard Robert speak, so he's positioned as an expert in the space. So even though it sounds too good to be true, let me at least give it a chance and learn about it.
Well, when I first heard you speak, you were talking about body composition, and I was intrigued by that. And then when I started following you and learning about, the diet-free life methodology, I was very intrigued by it because although I didn't have it, a lot of people used to ask me, like, I remember like I'd be sitting in the office and they'd be like, you have like a buffet of food. Like, how do you stay so thin? And I guess I know now that I wasn't eating, uh, I was eating mostly in a fat burning combination, but there were things that I was doing. I realized through you, what I was doing wrong. So I would never know how to answer when people would ask me, how do I eat that? How do I eat all of that and stay so thin? I didn't know the answer to it. So when I started following you, I was like, oh, maybe that's why.
That's the ticket.
Mm.
Okay, so you gave it a shot, and then of course, at one
Well,
point you were pre-diabetic at one point.
right. I was pre-diabetic. And then that was the point too. That was when I really started following you because I was told I was pre-diabetic. Um, and my doctor told me to just, watch what I'm eating and exercise. And I was doing all of that. I'm like, well, I do. I think I eat pretty healthy. Um, I'm always going to the gym, like, and so, um, I went through this phase because I then heard about a supplement, and so I did my own, like, science experiment, because I heard that this supplement will lower your blood sugar. So I started taking it, and I had to go back and get my blood work done. Like, I don't remember, every few months or whatever. So I would do the supplement, and then my sugars would all be in, everything would be good. And then I stopped doing that. And then, when I went back, my numbers were all off. And so I was doing that for a little bit until I learned about the diet free life, until I started following you. And then I'm like, maybe I need to do this. So I just started creating fat burning meals, and I didn't have to play that supplement game. My numbers went down, and I learned how to combine my foods to keep my numbers in the right range.
Nice. Okay. Well, as you can see, I put up a little snapshot of some of the benefits that come about when a person's making fat burning meals, right? So we're addressing everything from fatty liver to edema, eczema, Graves' disease, hypertension. So if someone's tuning in and you're going to watch us kind of share some data with you, just keep in mind that it speaks to any condition in any situation. So that being said, let me just share some stats before we dive in. I don't know if you've ever seen this stat, Lisa, but this was from 2023. 490 people that we worked with who did what we're sharing today. Everybody wanted to lose weight. We had 51 that were full-blown type 2 diabetics. Those were confirmed with the hemoglobin A1C. We had people on medications like metformin, blood pressure, fatty liver. They were living with statins for cholesterol. And as you can see, 93% of those who were type 2 diabetic are no longer diabetic. We got 89% of people off metformin, 82% off the use of blood pressure meds, 61% are no longer taking statins. And as you know, when you're put on statins and put on behind blood pressure meds and some of these other meds, you're told you're going to be on this for the rest of your life. These people are not. And we had 73% of people with fatty liver. That was confirmed. I believe, even though we have 23 people that were listed, I believe probably about 250 people out of the 490 had fatty liver.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, you guys, everything we're going to share with you speaks to this. So, if you have weight to lose, if you have a fatty liver, if you want to get off medications, if you want to improve health, and while you're doing those things, you're learning how to eat, and we're going to show you what we mean by learning how to eat, then reach out to Lisa. Reach out to me. Reach out to a coach who told you about what we're doing. Don't put it off, because the true success, the truest success, in my opinion, is when you have a coach. There is nothing more valuable than having a coach. Nothing. And I mean, well, the only other thing would be to have the right plan, because you could have a coach and doing some program that sets you up where you hinder your health.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, you ready to dive in?
Let's dive in.
Okay, so let me be the one. All right. All right, you guys. So this is a proprietary program. It's got a very strong behavioral coaching component to it. And it's really just what we did is we put foods in different categories to make it simple. And all you got to do is pull from that category and then eat that food. Now, the simplicity is that it's not just about sugar. We're also looking at a hormone called insulin. And this is a snapshot of what it looks like when we combine the foods, right? So you have your protein sources, you have your fast carb sources, you got your slow carb sources, and then you got fats, condiments, and raw, or what we call open. Basically, you pick and choose, right? So if you wanted turkey, you would eat turkey. If you wanted chicken, eggs. And for every meal, whatever you have access to at home, or wherever you find yourself in whatever restaurant or at someone's house, you just pick and choose the foods that you want from the categories, put them on a plate, and you have created a fat burning meal. And here's an example. This is one. We'll give you guys a few examples of what fat burning meals could look like. Okay, so as I set it up, then Lisa can share with you how you could swap it out and make it work for you, right? So in this example, it's really simple. Remember, this is just a simple example. The protein we have in this meal is chicken. You could easily swap that out and put in whatever you want. It could be fish, meatloaf, meat, eggs, again, whatever protein. Then we have a fast carb. In this example, we have a white potato. Then we have a slow carb in the form of broccoli. And we added a fat, which is always an option, butter. I could add cheese or avocado. And then there's room to add a condiment, mustard, ketchup, barbecue sauce, etc. And if you think of Bloom's taxonomy, which is a philosophy or a structure of how to teach people, right? A lot of college professors use it. The first step is really just memorizing, right? Or remembering, like, what is a protein? What is a fast carb? What is a slow carb? And once you know that chicken breast is a protein, then you know. Once you know that, let's say, a banana is a fast carb, then you know it's not like it's going to change the next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stop there, and you want to play with this and give some examples for people?
Of what of a fat burning meal
Yeah. So
looks
like,
like.
what would Lisa eat if she was going to make a fat burning meal that would be different than what we're looking at?
Okay, so yesterday, I'll just share what I ate for dinner last night. Last night I had halal. So I had my protein was the lamb. My fast carb was the rice.
Oh man, you had lamb.
I did. It was so good. I
Lucky
said,
you.
and of course I mean, I have enough probably for like another day or two, another two meals out of that. But so yeah, so my protein was the lamb. My fast carb was the rice. And then I added some lettuce, tomato, and cucumbers. So that was my slow carb. And then my condiment was the white sauce on top of it. And that was a fat burning meal. So, like, that's the thing is that once you know this, it does like you can go out and eat anything, right? Like that, I actually picked up in the mall yesterday. I was walking through the mall and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have some halal. But I always know, right? And now I also know the portion sizes. So that comes into play because with the amount that they gave you there, it was like 3 or 4 servings. So, but you can eat anything. You can eat all of those foods. You don't have to stick to lettuce and, you know, veggies. I don't know.
Exactly. Well, it's funny. I'm looking at this meal, and I'm gonna give you guys an example of a fat burning meal that is a Philly cheesesteak. You know about Philly cheesesteak, right?
I do.
Okay. Now I don't have a picture to share, so use your imagination, right? So the steak in a Philly cheesesteak, like a sandwich, the steak would be your protein. So instead of, chicken, I would have steak. The fast carb instead of a white potato would be the bread. Now, what do you guys call that in Philly? Is that a hoagie? Like, what is that?
I mean, New York, we call it a hero, but I think in Philly, they call it a hoagie.
Okay, so hoagie, you said a hero?
We call it a hero.
Okay. And that's just referring to the bread part.
The bread. Yeah.
Okay. So instead of having a white potato with my Philly cheesesteak, I'm going to have the hero or the hoagie, the bread. And then on your Philly cheesesteaks, do you have onions and bell peppers?
Yes.
Okay. That would be the slow carb. So instead of broccoli, you would have onions and bell peppers.
Mm-hmm.
And then oftentimes, I'm assuming on the Philly cheesesteak, people add cheese to it.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of the butter, which is the fat in the meal you can see on the screen, it would be the cheese. And then is there like mustard that people put on their Philly cheesesteak?
I don't know. I
Or
wouldn't, but
well, what would you put on it? Is it mayo? Any kind of
um,
sauce?
I don't think so. Like, I don't know. I don't think I don't.
Okay, well, anyone who
You can
said
maybe you can put some sauce on there. You can put some hot sauce. You can put mayo. You can put whatever sauce you want. Really.
okay, and then that would be a fat burning meal. So why
Right.
could everybody can do this?
Right.
Like everybody can do this. All you got to
And
do is do it.
that's what I mean. Like it's so like once you know, and it doesn't matter. Like you can go out like I don't because it's like, so many people I hear like, oh, I would love to go out, but I'm on a diet. Okay.
And
Like,
that's what we mean, you guys, when we say learn how to eat.
right.
It's almost like I don't want people to. They're like, "What do you mean learn how to eat?" I know how to. We're not saying you don't know how to eat. We're saying learn how to eat. It's two different things.
You're right. Learn how to combine it so that it's actually benefiting. You get the most benefit out of that meal for your body.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna change it up, you guys. We're gonna change it up. So we're gonna leave this meal, which is basic fat burning meal. You got to use your imagination, and this is where when we're coaching people, you're learning this, you're applying it, right? So like in Bloom's taxonomy, what I love about it is it really goes in alignment with how we coach.
Hmm.
First thing is, okay, you got to remember. So we give you cheat sheets, we give you a workbook. You can quickly turn to that page. You can see what's a fast carb. You can see what's a slow carb. You can see what the proteins are, right? When you build your meals. Then step 2 in Bloom's taxonomy is understanding, right? Comprehension. So one, you don't got to think, you can just pick and choose what you want. Then the second goal with us as a coach is we want you to have some understanding of what you're doing. And at the same time, you're applying it.
Hmm.
So those are the first 3 steps of a 6-step process. Okay, remember, understand, apply. And if you're eating 3 meals a day and you're making fat burning meals, then you're applying it that many times. That's 21 practice opportunities in 7 days. That's 84 practice opportunities in 30 days
Hmm.
or 24 days. Or I'm still drinking my second cup of coffee, whatever. But let's take out the fast carb, and this is what it looks like. You would just have slow carbs. It could
Hmm.
be the same slow carb portions. It could be completely different, as in this illustration. So the other day I made collard greens, which was my slow carb. You ever eat collard greens, Lisa?
I never have.
Okay, well, when you come visit me in California, I will make you collard greens.
Okay.
And then you're going to want to move out to California.
Some collard greens.
You'll be like, you know what? I don't know, man. Robert makes these collard greens. I got to go back. So the collard greens, like, they're really good. Almost, well, they're not the same as spinach, but basically you just got like a whole bunch of greens that are cooked.
Hmm.
So that was my slow carb. And then I had smoked turkey, which was my protein, and I mixed it all in. And that was my fat burning meal yesterday for lunch.
Hmm. That sounds good.
Yeah. So if you were looking at this, what would you eat that would match this as far as protein and slow carbs?
So I would change that chicken out, maybe have some fish. Then I would add some asparagus and maybe some spinach. And then, I mean, I could just keep it there, or, if I was really hungry, I would add that bonus slow carb into that. So, I would probably I like those beans. I would probably do beans with that.
Okay. All right. And that would be a fat burning meal.
Hmm.
Okay. So let's look at a different one. Okay. One of America's favorite meals. And I believe that at this point, if you start to understand the principles, you can see that whether I go to Whole Foods and got a burger, or if I go to Classical Grill and got a burger, Five Guys, Burger King, In and Out, the principles remain the same. Instead of chicken for my protein, I'm having the hamburger patty. Instead of the white potato, right, with the chicken earlier, I'm going to go with my fast carb is going to be the top and bottom bun. Instead of broccoli for my slow carb, I'm going to have the slow carb here with onions, pickles, lettuce, tomatoes. And instead of butter on my white potato for my fat, I'm going to have cheese. And then my condiments, mustard, ketchup. I just created a fat burning meal eating a burger.
Mm.
And our clients are losing weight. We're reversing type 2 diabetes. We're getting people reduce their inflammation. I mean, we do have a secret ingredient now with the balance oil,
Hmm.
which is a great tool. which I recommend 1000% for everybody, like without any hesitation at all. I mean, I feel like I have a conviction when it comes to that. It's interesting.
I'm like looking at my water, and I had some of my balanced soil in there, and because I don't know why, but I do mix it with a little. I know it doesn't even have a flavor because I'm drinking it right now with like it's like floating on the top, so there was still some left in there. I'm
So
like,
do you ever do the shot with it?
I don't know why, I just can't put it straight down, like,
Have you tried
I
it?
haven't even tried to do it. I know it doesn't taste like anything, and I haven't tried it. I just the thought of, like, oil going down my throat like that just I don't know, it
Well, you
just
know what?
sets my reflex.
Remember what you're saying right now,
Yeah,
and just do it one time,
I'll try it.
and it's gonna blow your mind
Alright.
because it's so smooth. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back.
Alright.
Let's get
Yeah,
focused.
let's
Okay.
get back. Okay.
All right.
Well,
So
wait,
now,
you didn't ask me what I would make with that.
oh yeah, let's see what you would make.
Okay, so my protein would be grilled chicken. My fast carb would be the bun. My fat would be avocado.
Was this like a chicken burger?
Yeah, it's like a chicken burger,
That sounds
right?
yummy.
My fat would be some avocado. I would add some slow carbs, so I would add some tomato and lettuce and onion, and then my condiment would be mayo.
Well, your fat would be mayo.
Oh yes, you're okay. All right, I messed up. My fat. I forgot that I had the avocado in there. I'm just looking at it like this. I'm not seeing the avocado. So my fat. So then maybe I would add some barbecue sauce to that.
Yummy. Okay. That's a fat burning meal. I hope everybody's getting this. Okay, so let's do another one, right? So a fat burning meal can be on a plate. A fat burning meal could be in a bowl. It can also be in a glass. So a lot of people when they make smoothies, there's no rhyme to reason. They're just throwing a bunch of things inside of a blender or a NutriBullet or something, right? And then they blend it. You know, cause I'll talk to someone. They said, "Oh yeah, well I'm doing smoothies. I don't understand why I'm not losing weight." Well, if you're just throwing anything in there, you know, pineapple, banana, I mean, they don't realize it, but they're compounding their fast carbs. And yes, it's healthy perceived food, but if you're eating even the healthiest foods in the wrong combinations, you're not losing weight.
Hmm.
So in this example, we're staying with the principles, right? So instead of chicken for my protein, I'm gonna use protein powder. Instead of a white potato or the buns for my fast carb, I'm gonna add a banana. Which actually I don't like this combination anymore for a whole bunch of reasons. Um, for the blueberries, that would be my slow carb, right? Same as strawberries, they're all slow carbs. Actually, I would swap this out and go with strawberries instead of blueberries whenever I have a banana.
Mm.
So there's a enzyme that comes with the bananas that block the polyphenol benefits of the blueberries. So you don't want to eat a banana with blueberries.
Interesting.
If you want to optimize, I mean, you can, and not like you're going to die. I mean,
Right.
but when my eyes were open when I was putting together our gut reset program, I went on a deep dive on every food, and I came across that enzyme, and it oxidizes the blueberries,
Hmm.
which is not good. So anyway, it's still a fat burning meal, and then of course instead of butter on a potato, I'm adding peanut butter, and my condiment is almond milk, which is what I use primarily. Sometimes unsweetened soy milk for our base when we want that creamy feel. But that's a fat burning meal.
Hmm.
Okay. How would you change up your smoothie if you made a completely different smoothie but stayed with protein, fast carb, slow carb?
Protein, I would do my protein powder. My fast carb, I'm gonna put an apple in there.
In a smoothie?
Why not?
I've never done that. So you must have. Do you have a Vitamix? I mean, you
I
need
don't
a.
know. I didn't. I've. You know what? I haven't tried it, but I was just thinking, like when I used to actually like juice certain things together, like because I was thinking. Let me finish and I'll explain. My protein, right, is my protein powder. I'll put an apple in there, and some spinach would be my. So the apple is my fast carb. Spinach would be my slow carb. Fat. I'm not gonna do fat, and um my condiment would be almond well, coconut milk. I'll do. I don't know how that would actually taste, but
Okay.
you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll try it later.
Well, like, and actually, I want to take a moment because we have some of our clients will watch this, and I just want to just reinforce when you make a smoothie, everything that you add into that blender is coming from a category, right? So I've watched people make a smoothie and they go, "Oh yeah, I make smoothies all the time." They throw in a little protein powder. I said, "Okay." I add a little mango. I said, "Okay, fast carb." Then I
Mm-hmm.
put a little banana in there, fast
Fast
carb.
carb.
Then I may throw a little bit of pineapple in there. Right?
Fast carb, and now it's not benefiting you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I see all the time, right? It's even when you go to like the smoothie, like the smoothie places, and then like you get like the super size, and
Oh,
it's just full there's not even a lot of times like a protein in there. It's just the blended fruits,
it's
right?
like it's crazy. Like my daughter, we go to this place called Blenders. I think it's called Blenders. And she gets a 24 ounce. Now that's a lot,
Yeah.
right? So that's three cups. There's 8 ounces in the cup. She gets a 24 ounce. So she's drinking 3 cups of concentrated food in a blender. So that thing is definitely over 1,000 calories. Definitely.
Yep.
And it's out of balance.
Right.
So when I go there, I get a small one if I'm going to get a smoothie for it's hot day or whatever. Then oftentimes I'll look at the recipe and I'll see where I need to swap in and swap out. And they're okay with that. Right. So if there was a mango and a banana, I say, yeah, can I just get it with the banana, scratch the mango, but then can I add, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And
And
that goes well.
you can also do like, half and half. Like, if you want some, or like a quarter, a quarter, a quarter, if you still want like the flavor of all three of those. You just have to watch what you can't put a full mango, a full banana, and a full, what was the other?
Pineapple.
Pineapple. Well,
Right. Okay. But see, so go back to, Bloom's taxonomy.
where, okay, I got it. I took it to the next level.
You took it to a whole nother level, which is great because ultimately that's where we want people to get to, is where they can create.
Right.
Right. Because first you start off, you remember, then you start to understand, you're applying it, then you get to a place where you can analyze.
Right.
And that's fun. And then you can evaluate, right? Which means you can see
Mhm.
the value in what you have, what you're working with. And then you can then create. And that's
Yeah,
when it gets, that's when
that's
it's really,
fun.
yes. Okay. Here's another one. This is I would call it a typical Chinese meal. It's beef broccoli,
Hmm.
right? So the beef is the protein. The white rice is the fast carb. Now at this point, you start getting people saying, "Well, I don't like white rice." Don't get in your own way. Okay, when you're learning, you eat what you like. If you prefer brown rice, wild rice, couscous, quinoa, then choose the fast carb that you want. But in this example, we have white rice for the fast carb. The carrots and broccoli is the slow carb. The condiments, the teriyaki sauce,
Hmm.
and that's a fat burning meal.
Yep.
You can make this with anything. I could take out the white rice and put mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
I could take out the beef with the broccoli and have meatloaf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can add chicken,
yeah.
shrimp.
So the hard part, or if there is a hard part, is the learning curve, right? It's like if somebody wants to lose weight and they want to learn how to eat and you're coaching them, you can kind of guide them and you customize what they're going to eat and they can make their fat burning meals. But it's a learning curve. So
Hmm.
that's the part when we say you learn how to eat. That's the value that a person is paying for. That's the exchange. Is I'm going to learn this methodology so I can eat regular food, everyday food, and not feel like I'm on a diet and get results. I mean, who doesn't want that? Everybody wants that. No one's going to say, if we had a panel, no one's going to say they don't want it. But here's my question to you, Lisa, and for
Hmm.
those who are listening in. Once you can see that this can work for you, you know there's a learning curve, so you get with a coach. What would stop somebody from contacting you today to become a client or contacting me?
I think they don't believe it.
So even though we can show them the science, we can show
Right.
them the data, we can show them the how we reverse type 2 diabetes, we can put hundreds of people on the phone that have lost weight, and we're
Yep.
not selling them a supplement. We're saying we're going to show you how to eat what you buy right now at the grocery store, but eat it in a way where you can lose weight.
Yep.
They still don't believe it. Why
Because
are
I think because there's so when it I think that when it comes to diet and nutrition, there's so much information. There's so many different influencers, right? And there's a lot of people who just share and don't have the actual knowledge, right? And so people just jump on board with that. And and you will, like a lot of times if you're starving yourself and you're only eating, you'll lose weight, but what else are you I mean, that goes up the scale, right, of what we discuss. Like, you
right?
don't understand you don't understand, well, what weight are you losing? Like, there's so many other different aspects to losing weight. Like, what is, are you insulin resistant? And so is eating, are, or not eating, I should say, and fasting really benefiting you? Or, is eating two shakes a day, especially if you're insulin resistant, and one healthy meal, dinner meal or whatever, however that, those are just like the things that you hear. Eat two shakes a day and one meal, like, and you'll lose weight. Of course you will. Because you're cutting calories, but what are you losing? And how is that affecting, other health issues that you may have going on? Is it benefiting it or is it not? And I can, if you're just eating shakes, I can tell you it's not benefiting you, or you're just juicing when it's, I don't know, you look at it completely different. And I don't think a lot of people understand, it's just information going out, but without the knowledge.
Right. Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. But okay, well, I mean, we did it. So
We did.
we went through. I think we gave enough examples.
Yeah.
Um, there's maybe we come back and the next time we go back and show people what insulin resistance looks like, what causes insulin resistance, and how you can reverse insulin resistance.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Because as you know, most people don't know they're insulin resistant,
Right.
um, and they think they are, and they figure, well, that must be my problem. Um, but in reality, it's nice to know.
Right.
So, all right. Well, before we go, is there anything that you would share with people, Lisa, to help them break that mold, get out of their way? Like, hey, come on, join the revolution, learn how to eat.
Yeah, like, I mean, just reach out, like send a DM, make a comment here. Let us, like, because once it's like once you learn that, like, you just know it. So there's no stressing out about, going here or going there, not being able to go here, not being able to go there, and you just, reach out to one of us, any of the Diet Free Life coaches, and just let us help, let's just start a conversation, let's see where you're at, and how we can help you where you are.
Love it. Well, I'll summarize on my side something that happened the other day. One of my clients who's battled with her weight for years, she was my client about 22 years ago. And we reconnected on Facebook. She goes, "Oh my God, hadn't seen, it's been years." And so she became my client. And so she has insulin resistance. We confirmed it. We're losing weight. It's coming off slow, but she's doing good. And she's got some momentum. And so she meets this guy who just decides that, he's a nutritionist and he does work with athletes or something. And she says, "Hey, I want you to meet my coach, Robert. You never know. Maybe there's, you guys could hit it off. Maybe there's a way to do some collaborations." And the guy does not want to talk to me. And what she eventually discovered was he has his way of thinking, and he believes that what he knows when it comes to weight loss is the right way. So he's living with confirmation bias, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm open because you never know. You can meet someone, they can share one thing that you just never thought about. And that helps me take my game to the next level.
Right.
But this guy would not get on the phone with me. He doesn't want to hear anything about anything unless it's exactly what he believes. He is not looking. And think about it, he's an influencer. He's a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we run into that problem, as you mentioned earlier, is that there's so much information out there. And you have a lot of people who would rather be right. So they would then stay away from anything that can prove them wrong.
Right.
And that is part of why everyone must take control of their own health and navigate it themselves, be their own health advocate instead of just relying on people. And that's why with what we're doing, right, with the whole, Bloom's taxonomy, that approach is, look, you can see how we're empowering you with the knowledge so you own it and you have independence and you're not relying on me or Lisa.
Right.
We want you to be independent. We don't want you codependent on us. That's why it's a learning process. And when you learn and then and you got it.
Yep.
All right. Well, mission accomplished, you guys. If you have any other questions, you can post them in the comments. You can reach out to Lisa. You can reach out to me. Thank you guys for giving us an opportunity to share information, bring clarity to how you can eat foods you like, enjoy and love, and get results. And as Lisa mentioned, it may be hard to believe up front,
Mm-hmm.
but we're evidence-based and clinically proven. We've done clinical trials. So everything that we're saying has been substantiated, which means it's been proven.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Lisa. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks,
All right,
everyone. Have a good day.
One. Bye.
Bye.